welcome back. We're at cycle 3, week 1. So it's going to be going back to that low box squat for the max effort work for the lower body. But first, I gotta get warmed up. I'm gonna change it up today. I'm gonna ride a bicycle for a little bit. Finished up on the bike. I'm gonna do a couple rounds of my warm-up circuit, but we'll see how I'm feeling with that. I don't think I'll need as many as I usually do. Let's get going. Finished with my little warm-up circuit. So now we're gonna move on to low box squats. We're gonna start with the bar, see how these feel. So we wrapped up the low box squats. I managed to get up to about 225. I probably could have kept going, but I went ahead, called it there for today. Now we're moving on to accessories. I'm gonna throw in trap bar, and I might do this with 2 different techniques of kind of doing more of a trap bar squat and then doing more of a trap bar deadlift. The only real difference between the 2 is kind of how you perform the exercise. One, you're squatting down more, like in a squat, and then the other one, you actually hinge back more like you would with a barbell deadlift. So we'll start with probably just the bar, do a couple, make sure it feels okay, and we'll start throwing on some weight. Well, we did the cable pull-throughs, so now I'm going to do my little closing circuit. I'm actually only going to do seated calf raises and the, what are those called? The hanging leg raises. Yes, because I'm hanging. That's why they're called hanging leg raises. So we're going to just do those, and then we're calling it a day. So the seated calves, hanging leg raises wraps up my workout for today. I'm not going to be doing super big circuits at the end of this like I have been doing, because I did program that trap bar, which is going to take a lot out of me. So I want to still make sure I can recover. Tomorrow is going to be max upper. So we'll be back in a little bit for that. Day 2. So that means it's going to be max effort upper. It's going to be a close grip bench for today. First we got to do our warm-ups, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that circuit now. Warm-up is done, so we're going to move on to that close grip bench. First I need to get the safeties in the right spot though. And we're slowly working our way up. Got, well, technically 125 on the bar, since this bar is 10 pounds lighter than a regular bar. So we'll see how far up I get today. That will conclude the close grip bench for me for today. I was able to get 185. That's my old personal best. So, tried for 190, and as you saw, I couldn't quite get it. But that also shows you why you want to go ahead, especially if you're benching alone or don't have a spotter, why you want to set up your safeties. And I have these safety set up for me, and it's also why I wanted one with kind of the 1-inch hole spacing, since I work out alone, so I could really dial that in better for it to be kind of just the right spot, so I'm not having one that's super high that I'm always hitting, or one that's super low that I'm still trapped under the bar. We need to move on to accessories. So this week, since it's a new cycle, so we're gonna do some chest supported rows. I know I was doing that a little bit for my closing circuit, but I liked it so much I'm gonna throw it into for my main accessory. And I'm also gonna do some single arm tricep extensions. So those one arm tricep extensions are kind of the end of the official workout. I'm going to do my little closing circuit. I'm going to do some lateral raises with the cable and some curls. So let's get going to that cycle. Shoulders and biceps are now pumped full of blood, and that will wrap up my workout. I might do a little bit of stretching, but tomorrow we get the day off, and then we'll be back the following day for some dynamic lower. So you'll see that in just a sec. So we had one day off, and now we're back for lower dynamic. But before we get going into the squats, I'm going to get warmed up. I'm going to go ahead and use the bike today. Finished warming up on that bike. Now I'm going to start doing my speed deadlifts. Of course, I'm going to start with just the bar, and then we'll see how these feel, and then we'll throw on the weight if they feel good. That's 8 sets of 2 for speed deadlift. I meant speed squats. Now we're doing speed deadlifts. I'm gonna throw 135 on here real quick, do a couple of reps, see how it feels, and then we'll throw on my working weight and get going. Finish the speed deadlifts, and now we're moving on to the trap bar deadlift. A different trap bar is a little bit easier than your regular deadlift, so should be okay. We'll see how doing 2 deadlifts in a row goes. We survived those trap bar deadlifts. Moving on to cable pull-throughs, but we actually have an attachment for this cable machine that we haven't used before. I'm looking at it, and I think I can do my pull-throughs with it. So let's give it a shot. Finish those hip thrusts. This little, I'm not sure what it's called. This little strap seemed to work for that. It was more comfortable than doing the actual pull through. Feel it a lot in my elbow joint when I'm doing the actual cable pull through. So now it's going to be time for the closing circuit. I'm just going to do some standing abs with the band and seated calves. So see the calves and the standing abs finish my workout for today. I've just seen like Chad Ikes and Dave Tate do standing abs. Probably not doing it right. I'm not feeling it a whole lot in my abs. I might just need a heavier band so I can step back further and do it kind of more like a plank. At least that's kind of what Matt Wenning does. So I don't know, I'll give it a shot later. But that concludes this workout. I'm actually skipping tomorrow's workout because I am going on a little mini vacation to mow some lawn. So I won't be back tomorrow, but we'll be back next week. Thank you very much for watching.